So yes, our expansion that we're working on right now is called Darkness Rising. It's due out at the end of this year. And the basis of this expansion is that the realms each have a king, and the king is in trouble. There's a rebellion stemming. Players are tasked with finding out who is leading this rebellion and stopping them. This is an expansion for players geared towards level 30 to 50 and beyond. And we're looking to help players who've been playing for a while have a few additional things that they can do. It's very quest-driven. Our final step of the quest sends you to a brand new zone, so each realm has one new zone. The final zone will be instanced. Our current instancing rules allow for 8 players or one group only to go in the instance. And it was very popular with Catacombs, our previous expansion, to allow smaller groups to be able to take part in this rather than larger scale combat that we've done before in the past. So as you're helping your kings and you're going through this content, one of the things that players are looking to do is to get more things for themselves, more abilities, more items. One of the items that you get is called a Championlevel. And we have an example today.
Cool. Wow, yeah. Oh, looks very nice, yeah.
So these champion weapons, for players who are familiar with our artifacts, they're on par with artifacts, they're just as good as artifacts, but these are class specific. So this is an example of the Paladin champion. There will be multiple types. For example, Shadow Blade who can dual wield or use left axe or use daggers or swords. There'll be multiple types for them to choose from, but they'll be visually similar. We want these to be visually exciting, like the one you see here. Some things we're talking about are having maybe an axe where the blade spins around and twirls. Maybe a staff that has a snake head and the snake actually moves. Things like that. So when you wield it, it really looks impressive. So our goal is to have this guy run by and someone say, "Wow, that's the Paladin champion weapon," and really want to get that. Another example of a reward that players will be working towards is our subclassing system. We've added 5 new champion levels, which are basically ways for players to advance over and above their current level 50 status, so they can go into the champion level track. Each of these champion levels will give you access to our subclassing system. And the subclassing gives our paladin hero the chance to go to an actual mage trainer and learn how to cast a fireball, something he can't do right now. So currently in game, in RVR especially, there's a lot of times where maybe a warrior is standing at a battle and there's a mage up top firing down and there's an archer below shooting up, and the warrior just can't do anything right now. So through subclassing, he can go learn a fireball, he can learn a heal spell, and he can actually get involved a little more. So subclassing is our second example. Our third example is something that we've been looking to add to Camelot for many years. You're probably familiar, player-controlled mounts. So we finally are adding player-controlled mounts with this expansion. So there'll be 2 types. One is the standard. The standard mounts are actually free. You don't need the expansion. They'll launch around the same time. But these guys are available to anyone. They'll be available to levels 35 and up. You'll need to do a brief soloable quest, and then you have the ability to purchase these mounts. So to show you an example of a standard mount, we have one here.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So there's that guy. Mounts will be able to use in above ground zones. These will be currently used just for speed boost, so you can go faster. But the advanced mounts, which are with the expansion, have additional customization abilities. For example, barding. You can actually have your barding on there. You can put your guild colors and emblem on there. You can change the colors and the actual trim around them as well. There's an example of full barding. Our goal with the system is to add customization features very similar to your character, so that you can actually get your horse match your outfit or match your guild colors. Your entire guild can set your horse up the same way if you like, to add additional customization features. One thing we don't have on display today is saddlebags. So we'll actually be adding the ability for players to have saddlebags on their mount, and they can add rams or whatnot into their saddlebags and carry them out with them in battle. So there's the majority of the expansion right there. We will have additional information coming throughout the year. We've got a press kit for you which has some screenshots, some concept art, and a PowerPoint presentation that gives you a little more detail about the new zones and the backstory and what you get for each champion level and things like that. So that's why it probably looks so much better. But now what we have done is added like these buildings and Camelot itself. And a recent free download, we upgraded those. So that could be why you're this expansion, not specifically though, through subclassing, PvP will change slightly, and it's still up for discussion whether or not we're going to allow the horses to be used out in RVR. You won't be fighting on them, but if we do allow them to be out in RVR, it'll be for transportation only, which will allow a guy who doesn't have
more
speed
speed
exactly. So we have to be very careful with that because we don't want to mess with the balance in RVR. What we're going to do is set this out there for beta and see how it works out and make adjustments if needed. We'd love to have them out there in RVR, so we'll see how it goes, but we can't make any promises. So subclassing will add a lot of depth to every single class in the game, but perhaps in the next expansion, we'll look to add some more. We'll see how it goes with the players.
Okay.